Effie, and this is What Effie Reads. I'm off to visit family this weekend who stay quite a way away, so I'm going to get a chance to shop in some different bookstores than normal, so I thought I'd take you all book shopping with me.
Very good morning to you and a very warm welcome on board the 752 LNER service from Aberdeen to London King's Cross. This service will call at Stonehaven, Montrose, Arbroath, Dundee, Bluchers, Kirkcaldy, Inverkeithing, Haymarket, Edinburgh Waverley, Berwick-on-Tweed, Newcastle Central, Darlington York and London King's Cross, where we're due to arrive at 14:51.
Shortly be arriving at Newcastle. Change here for trains to Carlisle, Hexham, Sunderland and Tyne and Wear Metro.
So I've arrived in Newcastle. I've been here for about 30 minutes and I'm now on the way to my first bookstore that I'm hoping to check out, and that's 7 Stories, which looks to be a really cool, massive children's bookstore with exhibitions and whatnot. So I'm super excited to check it out. that was 7 stories. It was a little smaller than I expected, but also a lot of it is closed at the moment. It did have a really good selection of books, and I managed to pick up a couple of gems. In Aberdeen, there's Waterstones, there's Books and Beans, which is a second-hand bookstore, and we do have an Oxfam bookstore, but really that's it. There's nothing, like, we don't have a Forbidden Planet anymore, and oh, I suppose we've probably got Blackwells. Sorry. Maybe we do have more bookstores than I thought we did, but it's always nice to have a look and see what different options there are, what variety I can find. I have seen some bookshops that look quite cute in the Newcastle area. I think most of them are focused in the city centre, so that's quite good. I'm not having to go too far away from where I need to be. So with me, I've got a rucksack and a handbag, and I've got some extra shoppers in case I do pick up things. I mean, knowing me, I'm probably going to go home with a lot of books, but I'd like to start the day with just my handbag and my rucksack, because the more I have to carry, the harder going it's going to be. I actually also completely forgot that my sister picked up a book for my husband back before Christmas actually, and I forgot that she'd picked it up for him. So since coming down here, I have 3 more books than I started out with. I promise I will do a full haul of everything that I've picked up when I get back home. But I will try and check in throughout the day tomorrow. It may be kind of shaky cam footage, so I apologise in advance for that. I will be heading out pretty soon. I'm going to have some breakfast of random bits of food I've picked up over the weekend, and then I'm going to head out. I don't think I'm going to stick around until checkout, because I went through like Google Maps last night and I found, I think it was like 15 places that I could potentially get books, which I think would be a lot of fun. But it feels like if I leave it till 12, my train's just before 5. That's going to not leave me very much time. There are a few places that I'm not sure whether I will end up going to. I think one of the places is like a sports bookshop, which whilst it could be fun, a little bit different, it's not something that interests me. There are a lot of charity shops on the list, but that's fine. You can often get a really good deal at a charity shop, and in some ways they're kind of curated. Not really, but you've got such a limited selection. It might push you to get something you might not otherwise think to pick up. So I've managed to hit a good number of shops so far. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, but I have managed to find something in every shop. Oh, no I haven't. Managed to find everything in most shops. The works, I found something I would have liked, but I wasn't going to carry it around for another few hours. I'm now taking a break in Starbucks because I'm a bit hot and I kind of got lost in Eldon Square, Eldon Gardens, the shopping centre in Newcastle. And I'm going to reassess where I still need to go and have a quick drink. Okay, this bookshop has got me overwhelmed. This Waterstones is absolutely massive. I think it's 4 flights, but so much choice, so many books. Love it. So I've just hit Waterstones, and I think all I've got left are Travelling Man and Forbidden Planet, and I've got lots of books, so I'm glad I'm almost done. well and truly all shopped out now. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, and I've got so many books. My bags are so heavy and I can feel bruises developing from my rucksack. But I've hit, I think, every bookstore that I decided I wanted to hit. I don't think it was quite 15 in the end, but it was quite a few. I would do a bit of a book haul now, but I know that I'll forget something if I try to do it now because there's books packed in all different bags. But it's been a really good experience. I think all of the stores that were bookshops as opposed to just like charity shops had a pride display, which was fantastic to see, and it's really helpful actually when you're looking to read queerly that they have those displays. I especially wanted to shout out to Travelling Man, as they sold a variety of queer pins and they just had a really kind of accepting environment now. I am just going to, well, I think I'm probably going to head to the train station and just hang out there. I have got plenty to read, that's for sure. That's me home from my weekend away, so it's time for me to share what books I managed to get whilst I was in Newcastle. So I mentioned that I had my sister pick up a book for my husband before Christmas, and that book was a signed copy of Toksvig's Almanac, which I'm hoping my husband will really enjoy. We quite like Sandy Toksvig's sense of humour, so it should be a fun little read. On to the books that I got for myself, I guess. So the first bookstore that I went to was Seven Stories, and there was so much choice. There was some really beautiful looking books there, but in the end I went for Knights and Bikes by Gabriel Kent, and largely I picked up this book because the publisher is Knights of. I really like what Knights of do, so I do like getting hold of their books, and I'm happy to see them in more and more bookstores, because as they are a smaller independent publisher, you don't see them as frequently, I feel like. And the other book that I picked up from Seven Stories was Moominland Midwinter. I believe the author is queer, so point in its favour there. But it was all of the cute little features. So it has a map, which which you can pull out, which I thought was lovely. And it also has foiling under the dust jacket. See, we have a Moomin skiing, which I thought was really cute. And then it wasn't until today, Monday, that I was able to go to more bookstores. The first bookstore that I went to was Blackwells, I initially didn't think that I was going to be able to find something that I wanted, and then I saw a cute little book of what I think is essays called Why You Should Read Children's Books Even Though You Are So Old and Wise by Catherine Rundell. It just seemed like what could be a really lovely book. And then nearby I saw a stand with lots of little penguin classics, and I was really intrigued by this one. It is The Nightingales Are Drunk by Hafez, I believe it's pronounced. I could be completely wrong. And it is a book of 14th century Persian poetry. The next shop that I went to was an Oxfam charity shop. Again, I wasn't initially sure that I was going to be able to find something, but in the end I picked up Seven for a Secret by Mary Webb. I believe it was the dedication that made me want to pick it up. And also I love older books like this. I think they're just so beautiful. And I also managed to pick up a copy of Spellslinger with the red sprayed edges for just 99p. The next shop that I went in to look for books was The Works. There was a box set of the Lawton Crepsley stories by Darren Shan that I was really tempted to get. However, I didn't fancy carrying those around for the next few hours. So I ended up not getting anything from there. Then I went into HMV, which once I found the books seemed to have a really good variety, and I ended up getting Beloved by Toni Morrison and Perfect Sound Whatever by James Acaster. I then came across a British Heart Foundation store and I got Essays in Popular Science by Julian Huxley. I am intrigued to see how science has or hasn't progressed since this book came out. I'm not sure when it was published. I'm just trying to have a look now. Says reprinted in 1938. So it'll be interesting to see the perspectives in this book. I then went in I think it's called the Grainger Market, and there was a couple of bookstores there. There was the Newcastle Book Exchange and Universal Export, I believe it's called. Both of them looked like they could have some really cool stuff in there, but unfortunately they just felt too cramped. And in the case of Newcastle Book Exchange, they were cash only, and I pretty much don't carry cash, unfortunately. The next store I went in was Waterstones, and that's where I spent a lot more money than I had in any of the other stores. I picked up Clara and the Sun. It's a book that my dad has read fairly recently and has mentioned quite a few times, so I figured now was probably the time to pick it up, since he does seem to speak quite highly of it. I also picked up 2 signed copies of True Crime Story. Look at those beautiful bright pink sprayed edges. Because this is a book that I read, well, I got an advanced copy of this book in ebook form and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was such a good book. It's kind of like if Daisy Jones and the Six was a murder mystery. So you've got interviews with all these different people that knew this missing girl, and you're trying to figure out what happened to her. And there's lots of twists and turns, and it kept me guessing right up until the end. And when the ending came, it was absolutely brilliant. So I got a copy from my best friend as well. And the final book that I got in Waterstones was When Stars Are Scattered, which sounded like it's going to be full of a lot of heart. From Forbidden Planet, I picked up the Heroes Omnibus. As you can see, it was only £2.99. I really enjoyed the TV show when it was originally on, so I'm interested to see what the graphic novel is like. The art on the back is very much reminiscent of the TV show. However, the art on the front feels very different. So I'm hoping to enjoy this. And I also managed to pick up a signed copy of Survivor Song. It also has these gorgeous orange sprayed edges. Paul Tremblay is an author that is quickly becoming one of my favourites. I have listened to 2 of his audiobooks so far and really quite enjoyed them. They have this wonderful entwinement of paranormal and not paranormal. I don't know what the opposite of paranormal is. Normal probably. So you're not sure if there is a supernatural element or if it is all just the darkness that is humanity. The final shop that I went into was Travelling Man, and I managed to pick up a graphic novel called Marble Cake, and I also saw a book that had a little bookmark in saying that it was signed by the author and also that said author was local, and it was also in the queer book section, and it is Ghostkin. I could try holding all of these books up. This could be fun, but I'm also a bit scared about trying to hold these all up. So let's see if I can stack them all up and hold them up for you. I'm not sure if I can actually get all these photos in the frame. There we go, kind of, yeah. There we go. So that is all the books that I got this weekend, plus the book I picked up for my husband. Ooh. So, if you enjoyed coming book shopping with me, be sure to give this video a like, comment if there's any of these books you think I should prioritise, and until next time, bye! Some of these books are really very heavy. Oh, almost there. Almost got them all. Let's see if I drop them all at the last hurdle. Yep. Huh? Like that? Yeah, just like that.